When interviewing realtors to potentially sell your home, one of the tools they will provide you is a CMA. What exactly is a CMA and how is that important to the process of selling your home? A CMA stands for Comparative Market Analysis. Pretty straightforward. We're going to compare active properties, contingent properties, and recently sold properties to your property and give you an estimation of value. It's not an actual appraisal, but it's a good reflection of what the market is like at the time. But are all CMAs the same? Does it matter who does them? And how do they compare to other valuation systems such as Zillow or Redfin? Those are things you want to take into account and consider when you're going through the property selling process. And so the first thing you want to consider is who's doing your CMA, because if it's someone who really understands the market and the nuances of the market and has seen a lot of properties, it's going to be very different than someone who's just looking at it very objectively, who isn't on the ground in the market at that time. And that's kind of how all of these automated services do it. Is Zillow, Redfin, and all these other companies are providing you with an estimate of the market value based on the algorithm and data. They're looking at geographically other properties that are for sale or sold and price per square foot and other things using a computer algorithm to come up with an estimated value. So is it always accurate? Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not, because in a place like Hawaii, it's very diverse. Properties are as diverse as our people, and you can have a multi-million-dollar neighborhood in a very close proximity where properties are selling for $500,000. So when a computer looks at that, are they going to be able to tell you the difference between those two neighborhoods and know that homes in this neighborhood are not exactly comps in the next neighborhood? Probably not. That's why you really have to get a market expert to look deeply and really take care, not just some automated system, because a lot of realtors have this automated system where they just put in a property and it spits out a property value and some comps, and they don't necessarily take the care to look exactly at every single property that has sold in the area to see whether or not it's an exact comp for you. So a lot of other tangible, intangible things that determine the property's value, especially in Hawaii. A big one is the view. If you can see the ocean, and a lot of times in a similar neighborhood, properties will sell for $100,000 more if you have a great view versus if you have a very similar floor plan, a similar house that does not have a view. So that's a big one. The yard and landscaping is another one. Having a bunch of mature fruit trees producing fruit in your yard could be a lot of value to a buyer as opposed to maybe a gravel yard that doesn't have any fruit trees. So that's the kind of things that a computer cannot really look at. And if your realtor is not looking deeply and really closely at those things, it's not necessarily going to give you an accurate value of your property. And it's really important that you're looking at solds. A lot of times people are looking at the homes that are listed for X, Y, and Z and think that that should determine the value of their home. But a listed house is a house that hasn't sold yet. And so it's not a really good reflection of the market value, because the best reflection of the market value is a home that has actually sold. When a buyer and a seller come together and agree on a price, now you have a sold comparable that you can look at and say, okay, that's something that the market has said that is the value. When a property is listed, people can list their property for whatever they want. It doesn't mean that it's an accurate reflection of the market. And the longer it sits on the market, it's more of a reflection that it's not a reflection of the market, because it's been sitting there for so long and has not sold. So really you want to look deeply and take care. It's very much an art, not a science, to do a good market analysis of a value of a property. So take the time and don't rely on automated or computer-based systems that are just going to do the easy thing and run a bunch of formulas and algorithms and try to give you a value. If you have any questions, always drop them in the comments below, and you can email me at lonnie.mercado@exprealty.com. Thanks for watching.